Welcome to another episode of the Roughly Related to Reselling podcast. My name is Perry Phillips. Follow me on Instagram at Perry Flips with a Z. Flips and Giggles is our username on Whatnot and eBay. And you can also find that on Facebook. So, yeah, if you like the podcast, make sure you like, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and then hit the notification so you get notified every time a new episode drops. It's usually Wednesdays, but as everybody who's a listener of the show knows, sometimes life happens. I don't get to show up when I'm supposed to. Gonna probably do a little bit of a shorter episode today. Gonna do a little bit of a shorter episode today. We're super busy this week. We've got my mom's celebration of life is this weekend. So we've got people coming into town starting tomorrow. So I had to get this done today. But because it's going to be a shorter episode, we should be able to do it, the Drunk Volume 3. So if you've been listening to the show from the beginning, anytime my buddy Jacob comes into town, which is, it's been twice since we started the show, we get drunk and we do a podcast. It's usually like one of the most ridiculous podcasts of the year, but yeah, so that should be coming out. And so I might do that one and then another one, like my regularly scheduled one, depending on how much stuff I have to talk about. But weather's starting to warm up. It's starting to get lighter later. I went to shovel because we have nowhere to park any of the cars that are going to be here. We usually have plenty of parking. But like when you come down to the end of my street, I have my notifications on. Let me just preface this by saying I have my notifications on. We have a cleaner coming to clean out my mom's side of the house. She had a cat and shit, and dude, everything smelled like piss. Like the rug smelled like piss. I'm like, what is this cat just pissing everywhere? So I'm going to have to pause. They're supposed to come between 12:30 and 1:30. So I have my notifications on so I know when they pull up. And I'm also waiting for my camera too. My camera came yesterday. Was at the house all day. My wife was home or I was home all day. And then we went out to dinner around 6, which is no, it wasn't 6. It was probably 5:30. And we were getting ready to leave dinner. It was 6:15. We went out to dinner with our neighbors, went to this place, Charlie's Pizza. Shout out Charlie's Pizza. They have the best fucking bar pizza. So at 6:15, my Ring camera went off. And I look, and sure enough, it's the FedEx guy getting my fucking there to get the signature for the fucking camera. So, yeah, it's supposed to come today. So I'm here waiting. My wife and kids it's vacation week, school vacation, and my wife took this week off because we got the celebration of life for, family coming in, this, that, and the other. So, yeah. What was I going with that? So anyway, long story short, I'm right here doing this, waiting for the fucking FedEx guy. I had a package of cardboard boxes I ordered because I've got a vinyl show coming up. I thought I had enough boxes, but I didn't. I'm out of my vinyl boxes. I thought I had another pack stashed away, but I do not. I forgot that we had a flood. I think a whole package got ruined in a flood. So I get the alert that my item's been delivered, and I'm cooking lunch for my kids. So I'm like, all right, I'll go down after we have lunch. So I go down, completely forget that I have to go check for this shit. So, some time goes by, then I'm like, oh shit, I got to go check for that package. So I go take the trash out while I'm going because I got to walk by where we get our packages dropped off anyway. I go by, there's nothing there. So I'm like, all right, well, this package is definitely too big to fit in the mailbox. So it's not in the mailbox. So I got to now look into this to see why this package says it's delivered, but it's not delivered. So I go in the house, forget about it again. The kids are constantly like, hey, can you do this? Can you do this? So check again. And finally I like look at the actual message and I look at the picture because they take a picture of where they put it. And these fucking people left it, this fucking dude left it at the end of the street. So our mailbox is at the very end of our street. So he left it at the end of the street, like on the top of a pile of snow. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Is that where you should leave it? So I didn't see it for a few hours and it was just warm enough so the snow was slowly melting. So like melted through half of the fucking boxes, got water damage, which I could probably dry them out, but like I don't want to send people fucking water damaged shit, you know what I mean? Then it looks like my shit's water damaged. So they sent me a new one and I get the alert that like somebody's walking by and I look out the window and this fucking guy is walking, his truck's parked, further up the road and he's walking down with the package. It's like, yeah, that's what you should have done the first time. Like, it takes 2 fucking seconds. And he still could have probably driven down. Like, he said his truck was getting stuck. I'm like, nobody else gets stuck. UPS fucking comes down here all the time. It's just the Amazon guy. He like won't come down here. Little bitch. But then he wrote a note. I look on the box and it's like, sorry. That's what the note said, was like, sorry, my truck was getting stuck in the mud and the ice. I'm like, you're full of shit. Because we haven't even like bought anything recently. So anyway, my camera's coming today. So I paid like $850 for this camera. I asked my buddy like what camera to get for a podcast. So I'm planning, we got to figure out, because we're cleaning out the other side of my mom's, and we're going to basically, our house is connected. Our houses are connected. Essentially, our side is an addition. Like when the house was originally built, it was just my mom's side, and they added our side after the fact. But when they added it, they added in a little stairwell from one side to the other, and with the option to like close it up if they wanted to. So we've had it closed just because, it made us feel like we had our own space. My mom had her own space. But now that it's just one house, we're opening it up again. And so we've got all this extra room, and we got to figure out like where everything's going to go. So I want to set up a place where I can do the whatnots and the podcast, because I'm going to be shooting it on video. I'm going to see my buddy this weekend. So I'm going to set up a time to go over like getting everything together and how to shoot it and all that shit. So that way I know what the fuck I'm doing. And then hopefully we have video by episode 100. It's creeping up. And and then that's when I'm going to announce that new podcast. I'm working on, I drew up an outline. I had AI help me draw up an outline for the podcast, and started getting like a pitch together for guests. So I'm going to start sending out, because I need to get guests first, and then I can, promote the show. If I don't have the guests, then it's not going to work. But I have a feeling, a lot of people are going to be interested in doing that show. So I think it's going to be fun. We're going to do user submissions. So all of the, stuff will be generated new each week. So it should be fun. I'm excited. Still like working out all the details. But yeah, coming soon. So yeah, I've just been working on that. I've been taking some time like from posting stuff on eBay. My eBay area is like a complete mess right now. So I really just have to clean it up, and then I'll be motivated. Like anytime I clean that area up, I'm motivated to start listing stuff. But it's just been a mess because we've been cleaning out my mom's side. So stuff just keeps coming in, and I had to go through like pictures because we're doing a board. So I was going through all the pictures, and I went through all those Magic the Gathering cards. So I think what I'm going to do for those is I'm going to do 2 shows at one night. So one show will go from like 8:30 to 9:30, and then I'll stop that show whenever it ends, you know what I mean? And then we'll go into the next show shortly after that. I might give myself like a 10-15 minute break and then get going and do the rest. So I'm going to do Pokemon first and then Magic. So I'll have Pokemon singles. all hollows, and then I'll have some older, like from the Tops line. Those aren't all hollows, but I have some like basic stuff too, like some older cards that you can't really get anymore. So, and then for the Magic cards, I just filled 3 flat rate boxes, 3 large flat rate boxes, and then I'm gonna auction those off starting at $1 each. For it's like, I asked Grok how much it is. It said like 3,000 to 6,000 cards can fit in there. So I have no idea how many are in there. So yeah, we're gonna be doing that, and then we got vinyl records tomorrow night. I think I already said that, but yeah. So it's been nice not having to list a shit ton, but yeah, I do need to start listing a little bit on eBay. I feel like they kind of like shadow banned my account because I had 3 fucking bullshit returns in a row. So yeah, I'm just, just taking a little bit of a break from it. Plus I started school back up, but this class isn't as hard as like the other ones have been. Oh, hold on. I might have to pause this podcast real quick. Okay. Yeah, let me pause this. I'll be back. All right. Sorry. That was the cleaning people. I didn't realize my wife left the door open. So I just walked in there all looking at me like, why the fuck are you here? I was like, do I pay you now? Or like, no, you just pay us after. I was like, all right. So my wife like overthinks things, and then she projects that onto me. She's like, she always thinks like if you go to do a return that they need the receipt, and like most places don't need, like it's all fucking digital now. So she always like sends me to places, and she's like, you're gonna need this. And I get there, I'm like, do you need this? They're like, no, we can just look it up by the phone number. I'm like, all right. Oh, I guess I can silence my phone right now, although I gotta look out for FedEx. They probably will they probably will come 5 minutes later, so I have to fucking stop again. Fuck, I was about to talk about something, and then that ding just threw me off. I don't even remember what the fuck I was talking about. Guess it wasn't that important. I could always pause it and go back and check, but yeah, whatever. But yeah, it's the first time we're getting the house cleaned. I've never had that done before, so we'll see how it goes. I want to do this side too, because we have like both sides. We have so much kid shit everywhere, so yeah, I can't wait to spread this house out and just like, it obviously sucks that my mom died, but having the extra space is nice because we have a 3 and a 5-year-old. You know what I mean? Eventually, they're gonna need separate rooms. We were gonna do an addition, which I still kind of want to do an addition, but it's just so much house to fucking. It's like we have a lot of house, but not a ton of space. And even with the additional space, it's still not like a ton of space. So, especially for running a business with kids, because they just like, you have to go to different places in the house, especially in the winter when you're cooped up. Like, they're like, can we go play in the snow? And right now the snow is fucking gross and like hard. And we got the dog. And so, I've been letting him out. But the fucking dog shits so much. I clean shit every couple days. Because it's like, I'm not going to be out there cleaning up his shit every day. I don't like, I'm going to have to in the summer. But like, at least we're out there every day. But I made him like a walkway. And he's just been shitting. Like, he goes to the end and shits. So I just like go out like every 2 days I've been going. And there's just piles of shit. I'm like, and he shits on the walk too. I'm like, how much does this fucking dog shit? So like, it got all over the path. So I was like having to recover the path with snow because there's fucking dog shit everywhere. It was so fucking annoying. So, but yeah, he goes on his walks every day. He's cool. He's chill. He hangs out with me. He usually hangs out when I do the podcast, but he's upstairs. I walked up, he was on a pile of pillows looking out the window. 'Cause he likes to look out the window on my mom's side, but we have a bigger window over here. So I think he just realized like he can fucking see out the window. We like left space so he could get over there, and he just finally, I think, figured it out. So he's just up there chilling, looking out the window. And the summer's going to be better for him too. He gets to hang out outside. He's got like a whole fucking huge yard. Like our yard's massive when you combine the two. So we've got a fence that like separates them. So I think we'll let him like go out there to shit, and then once he's done shitting, letting him out on the other side where the kids play. But right now, because it's winter, he just shits right outside the fucking house. That's enough about my dog. My dog's shit. I got a haircut today. I went in, and it's like all younger dudes. Like they're all fucking super young. Like I think like 20 something, 21, 22. He said, but like he does a good job on the hair. He's been cutting, he said, for 10 years. But like, yeah, it's a little like, you know, small independent shop, but they have a bunch of clothes in there that they like resell. Like the guy who owns it, I guess, or the kid who owns it, I should say. I guess he was a reseller before. So every time I go in, like they ask me about reselling and shit. So they followed me on Whatnot today. So, you know, it's been cool. I never like promoted my eBay and shit. Because eBay's, I don't know. I've had eBay for like 6 years, and I have like under 300 followers. For a while, I was getting a lot of new followers. But yeah, I don't like. I should go the extra above and beyond, like put customer notes and shit. And eventually, I will. But like, you know, for a long time, I was just barely fucking scraping by with this business, just trying to get it up and running. Because you spend so much money with reselling, you know what I mean? And anytime an opportunity comes up, like if an opportunity comes up where you can get some good inventory and you don't quite have the money for it, you got to kind of make it work, you know, sell some shit quickly, flip that, and get some money to grab the new shit. But it's been like harder and harder in this area because a lot more people are like, oh, I can sell my shit on Facebook Marketplace. So a lot of the stuff on Marketplace is like a little bit more expensive. So I'm curious to see how yard sale season will be. I usually do really well anyway because I scour for fucking yard sales. So I always find them. But yeah, I've been listening to a lot more Bad Bunny. I'm not going to lie. I was like, dude, I have to figure this guy out. And I kind of figured out he's kind of just like a Puerto Rican Post Malone. Like Post Malone, but Post Malone is a better singer, I feel like, and performer. But like, as well, just from the one performance I saw, which was the Super Bowl. That's what I'm basing it off of. But I've listened to his songs. The songs are fucking pretty good. But yeah, he's not like a great singer. He just kind of has like almost like an opera-y type, like sing-songy cadence. But it's good. It fucking works. So I guess the Super Bowl halftime worked for him because, you know, I'm now a Bad Bunny fan. Like I said, I was a fan of his, and I know I said that he should stick to acting, but, you know, I take that back. I'm sorry. I was ignorant. I didn't know. And for that, I'm sorry, Bad Bunny. One Puerto Rican to another, I'm sorry. But anyway, yeah, I went and got my hair cut. I was growing my hair out for a minute, and then, like, once we started going live, I was like, I have to have a haircut. I can't. This hair is just not working. Because for the longest time, I was just going out public. Well, when I look at like pictures, there's a picture of like me and my family from last summer, and I was heavier. I gained some weight. I'll go through like random periods where I'll gain some weight. If it's like a period where we're doing a lot of shit and like it involves food and like, you know, I don't have a ton of time to work out, I fucking gain weight and then I have to lose it back. It's a pain in the ass. But I never gain like a shitload. Like I won't ever gain. Like I will never be at my heaviest ever again. You know what I mean? I'm just more motivated than I was when I was younger. And I was drinking a lot. Like I drank a lot when I was younger. Not like a ton, but enough to where it was like, you know, like I would have a few drinks a day and be like, oh, I'm only having a few drinks. Like when I lived in California, it was like we partied fucking every night. I was doing drugs. When I first got there, I was working out all the time. And then, you know, I was like, I don't have time to work out. I would sleep in and then get up, go to work, get out of work. We'd have a drink right after work. And like, you know, some nights we'd keep it going. Some nights we'd just have a few drinks and then go to bed, but it was just constant. And so, you know, gain fucking weight. Now when I drink, it's like, if you have kids and you drink and you're hungover, like you got to get up early with them for school. That's the other thing too. Like I have to drop them off at school. If I pull up to the school smelling like fucking alcohol all the time, it's like, you know, it's not a great look. And also, you know, you don't want to be hungover around your kids. Plus, I don't like my kids like being like, oh, it's like normal that my parents just drink all the time. So, it's just, you know, obviously it's cut back a lot since I was younger. When I was younger, I was like, oh, I'm going to be drinking and partying until I'm fucking, and now it's like, you know, I don't even, it's like when I think about drinking, it makes me like, I really have to think about it and be like, do I really want to drink? Because I know if I have a few and I forget to drink some water, it's like, you know, it's a slippery slope. And I drink fast. I'm a fucking fast drinker. Like when I have water, it's gone in 2 seconds. It's gone in 60 sips. Not even. Gone in 6 sips. But that's just like how I drink water. So when I drink alcohol, I just fucking drink that shit fast. It just like, that's just how it is. But yeah, you know, now it's just not like, And I'm not one of those people who, when I drink like I used to. You know what I mean? I kind of know, I kind of buy as much as I think I'm going to need. I buy like, you know, if I think I'm going to fucking drink 8 beers, I'll buy 4, you know. So it's all just kind of that. We have the Celebration of Life coming up this weekend, and there's a bar there. And like, I probably won't even drink for that. Like, I probably don't really, you know what I mean? If people want to drink, they can drink. But I just don't think, I might have like the last half hour, like grab one and then go do something at the house or something. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. It should be an interesting weekend. I've got my in-laws coming in tomorrow, and then my godmother comes on Friday, and our friends come in from Washington on Friday. So it's going to be a interesting weekend. So we might have some babysitters, so I might be able to go out this weekend. But who knows? We're always so tired because we've got so much shit to do. Getting the other side cleaned was like the big thing my wife was worried about. So we got that done. I got a haircut, which I needed to do. We wanted to get the dog groomed, but of course they're on vacation this week. My wife's like, we could go somewhere else. I'm like, I just took them to a new place. Like, I'd rather just take them there. Plus, they were nice, and it was like a husband and wife small business. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, I'd rather just help them. There's other places that are like small businesses and shit, but that one lady, we never called back. We called her to do a fucking appointment. I don't know if I even talked about this, but we were supposed to get the dog groomed, and I made an appointment with this lady, and my mom had told me that she was fucking flaky, like, before. So I kind of knew that going in. But I wasn't sure if it was this lady. I was like, I think that might have been somebody else. I feel like that lady closed. So I made an appointment with her a couple days out. And then I get there, and the place is locked. Mind you, I have the dog on the leash. So I, like, text her. I'm like, hey, I'm here. We're like, da-da-da-da. Then I tried calling, no answer. So I was like, all right, I guess we're going back to the house. So she never even called me back for like 2 days. So finally she texted me. She didn't even call. She texted me. She's like, oh, I'm so sorry. Da, da, da. I can get you in today. And I had already had an appointment set up. So I was like, fuck this lady. So then she texted me again. She's like, I can offer $10 off, please. I'm like, dude, I showed up with an appointment and you just weren't there with no notice, like didn't even answer when I called or didn't text for like 2 days. So I'd rather go to the other lady. Like, I don't feel like having to deal with that shit again. But yeah, I used to like groom my own dogs. Now I'm like, I'm just gonna pay somebody to do it. I'm not dealing with all that. I already have to clean up their shit. Should just have pay somebody to do that. Once the kids in the neighborhood are old enough, start paying them to pick up dog shit. My kids won't do it. They're like, ew, little fucking shits. I came back from the barber. They always want to smell my hair when I get back from the barber. So like, let me smell your hair. I'm like, all right, here you go, weirdos. So I have to get them. He like asked me if I want the product in. I gotta go, yeah. So when I was at the barber shop, there was these 2 guys in a row that both got haircuts, and they both had like the half top, like bald on top, old guy look, like wrap around the back. Like, and it was funny because as I was wondering, I'm like, that must take like 2 seconds to do. Like, it's, they could do it themselves. And I was wondering like how barbers felt about it. And it's like young kids, so they don't really have a filter. So as soon as they left, they're like, he's like, dude, I was so happy when he fucking took off his hat. And I realized he was bald. He was like, I wasn't gonna come into work today, but I've had I forget what the fuck I can't remember what the fuck he called them, but he called them something, and he was basically talking about old guys with the little half on top. He was like, I was gonna call out today, but something told me to come to work today. He's like, and I'm on vacation after today. I was fucking dying. So, it's a funny little place, dude. The barbershop is cool. I like going to the barbershop. I used to cut my own hair, but now I'm like, I'll just have somebody do it. It looks better, I started doing it when I worked at the cell phone place because I had to look kind of professional. So I wanted to make sure I looked like, as good as possible to try to sell shit. I would wear like a suit. Like, you didn't really have to wear suits to that job, but they would, some people would. And so I noticed that, like, if you did wear suits, you'd fucking do a little bit better. It looked a little bit more professional. People trusted you a little bit more. And I was never like an untrustworthy salesman. Like, I always was upfront with people. I remember I had a guy, I was training somebody. And so, like, I'm training this person on how to do this. And I wrote out paperwork for all his shit, like how much it was going to cost him for his phone, this, that, and the other. And he came in all fucking hot, and he was like, oh, I need to talk to you. So I sat down. I still had my trainee with me. And he brings all his paperwork, whatever. He's like, you sold me a phone, and you told me my bill was going to go down. I was like, all right, well, let me take a look at your paperwork, see what it looks like. So I look at it, and I add it up, and I'm like, no, it says here that your bill's supposed to go up by like $5. I was like, what we probably talked about was getting stuff off your bill to make it cheaper so that your bill doesn't, get jacked up when you get a new phone or whatever. Because we changed his plan, did all that shit. And I'd explained that to him, and I had it written out. Like, I showed my trainee, I was like, see? And he's like, yeah, that's, he was able to even figure it out. So then I had to get my manager, who's my friend Jacob. And so I went and got him, and he came over, and I show him the paperwork. I'm like, this guy's tripping. He's like, is telling me that I told him his bill was going to go down. I have the paperwork that shows him exactly what I had told him the bill was going to be. And so we go over it, and like, he finally like was all right with it. But I'm just like, I fucking explained it as best as I could. And even in those situations, it's like you're still gonna have people coming in being like, you tried to fuck me, because they go in thinking that they're gonna get fucked. Because a lot of times when you do go in those places, you do kind of get fucked. Speaking of phones, I had my mom's fucking phone, and it's an LG G7 Pro, which is like the bigger one. And I sold two of the smaller ones because my in-laws upgraded their phone. So I sold two of the smaller ones on eBay. So they were going for more than they were going to give me for the trade-in value. And so I had this other phone, and I had it sitting up on like, up on a shelf so I could remember to, because I had to go through it and like send her pictures over to my wife or figure out what to do with them. And so before I got to it, my fucking daughter like grabbed it, and like it fell and landed. And I picked it up and I looked at it, and I'm like, oh, it's fine, like it didn't break. Sure enough, I checked it like a little bit later. I was going to get ready to list it, and it's fucking cracked. So it's still worth some money, but I'm just annoyed. I'm like, oh, that shit was going to be like $200. So I'm a little annoyed about that. So that was another reason I didn't like rush to list all my shit. But yeah, let me see what else I have to talk about, because I've gone through like a half hour, and I might have some more time. I mean, I'm not going to have a ton of time because I got to get finished up here. My wife and shit's going to be home. Let me see. I'm looking at the wrong thing. Hold on. Sorry. I have like My gosh, why is this not going back? All right, hold on. I'm trying to see my notes to see what I had, but oh fuck, this is what I can talk about. God damn, this is annoying. I'm still thinking about this. So last week there was an in-person storage unit sale, and I had to take my daughter, so I got there a little bit early so I could get a decent parking spot, so we could like wait in the car until they started. You know, I didn't want to have to like park across the lot. Sometimes it's a ton of people, and so I sign up. Where he's like, oh, we had 5 units, we're down to 3, and so we go to the first unit, and that unit was all right, but nobody was bidding on it. I think it ended up selling for $10. But I was like, I'm not going to get that unit. Go to the next unit. It was a shitty unit. There was nothing really good in there. Somebody else bought that one for 10. So we get to the last unit, and a lot of like the bigger guys that are usually there weren't there, and like, so there was just kind of like it wasn't a ton of people. A couple people got there and were like, oh, if we don't have the money, we like, can we run and grab it at the ATM? He was like, no, and they just immediately left. And so I'm like, all right, so this last unit opens, and it's like, he's like, oh, it's a clean unit. And I look in, and it's like, sealed bins, which I know I've been burned on. But there was all types of other stuff. Like, you could tell that there was shit in there. There was a big-ass piece of, like, machinery. Like, not huge, but I can't remember. Like, maybe a generator or snowblower or something. And so he started the bidding at, like, 200, then dropped it down to 125. So I immediately, like, bumped it up, and then I was going back and forth with this one guy, and he started slowing down around like the 300s, and I bid to 400, and he bid it to like 450, and for whatever reason, I don't even know why, I had the money, I could have kept going. I was like under, like 250 under what I like had decided I could spend, and 350. I was like, oh, I can spend 750 with like the tax and the deposit or whatever. And I just stopped. I don't know why. And then I thought about it after. I was like, I probably could have just got that. I think I was thinking like space wise, but then I was like, after the fact, I was like, I could have just like bought the unit and then paid to store it for a month. You know what I mean? And then just taken it out, emptied it after everybody leaves next week. So I'm really mad at myself for not doing that. Yeah, that was a good unit. It probably was a lot of money. And he probably would have stopped. He probably would have given up at like 600. Maybe even if I had bid to 500. So, because that was the last bid, 450. So nobody was even challenging me or him. So I'm really mad at myself. Yeah. And my trailer's buried right now. That was part of it too. I'm like, my fucking trailer is buried. I need to like dig it out of the snow. I don't have a place to put it right now where it's like covered from the snow. So I can't even believe that. It was such a good unit. And now I've been like trying to find inventory. There was an estate sale Saturday that was pretty good looking, like from the pictures, but I could see some of the prices, and like I've been to their estate sales before, and they're really hit or miss. It really depends on whose sale it is. And so they ended up sending an email out there like, we're doing a third day for the sale. Like, they added a day, and anytime they add a day, it's because they didn't really do well that weekend, and it's usually because shit's overpriced. So I might see if they do that one again and go check it out. Hopefully they put new pictures. But yeah, I haven't seen any for this weekend, but we've got people at the house obviously this weekend, so I mean, I can go to ones if I want to. Sometimes my friend Jen, who's Jacob's wife, will go to stuff like that with me. Really depends on what we got going on. But Sunday is the day of the event, so we got to like make a board, and then we got to make food. So, I mean, we're just doing like easy pasta with meatballs, We got like frozen meatballs. We're just going to do that. And then we will do like salad, like a big Caesar salad, and then just call it a day. So I'm sure people will complain about the food, but no, I don't think people will actually give a fuck. It's not like you're not really there to eat. It's just there in case you want a snack or like, you know what I mean? It's not going to be like a formal dinner. So I'm still mad at myself for not hiring a sad DJ. Yeah, that would have been a good idea, but I pussied out on it. Not that I pussied out. My wife was like, "That's not a good idea," and so I was like, "Yeah, you're probably right." I would have been the only one laughing. Let me see what else I have to talk about. Oh, we had a vintage T-shirt sale last Wednesday night or Thursday night. That was our first time on Thursday nights. It did pretty well. We did like $236 in like 45 minutes. So that was pretty cool. Sold through a lot of T-shirts I've had. I put some T-shirts that I've had sitting for a while that I've had up for like I had that this Metallica shirt. It was like a long sleeve. It was a vintage reproduction of like an 80s Metallica shirt. But it was still vintage, like probably from like the early 2000s maybe. But it didn't say that anywhere. You just kind of like, if you didn't know any better, you'd be like, oh, this is a vintage, a vintage from the 80s. But like, the tag didn't match, all that stuff. So I knew it was a reproduction. So I sold it as a reproduction. And I had gotten an offer on, that was the person who sent me the offer for that was like F off because they were like, I'll pay you 20 right now. And I took it down. So it ended up selling for like, I think that was the highest one we sold, and that sold for like $45. So I had it at like $35, I think, on eBay. So it sold for more than I had it on eBay. I sold a Grateful Dead shirt for like $40. I sold an Onyx shirt for $3, which was kind of crazy. But we had somebody afterwards who was bidding on the hip hop stuff. So I think if I had waited on the Onyx, I probably could have got a little bit more. I would have had a little bit more of a bidding war. But whatever, that's kind of how it works on there. Sometimes you sell some bangers for like a couple bucks, but then that's how you get people coming back. So I've, like I said, I got like 2 people just by talking about it today. So yeah, this year I think we're going to lean a little bit more into that. Try to sell as much shit as possible. We got instant payouts on there, so that's pretty cool. I'm trying to work towards getting that, it's what's it called, the Premier Shop, but you gotta sell like $50,000, and we haven't done that yet. So we gotta really step up that. We haven't had even a $1,000 sale yet. So I'm hoping to do that at some point, but I think the Pokemon one might do that, but I don't even know. Who knows? It really depends on how much people are paying on them. I got into a Pokemon break the other day on Whatnot. It wasn't even a Pokemon break. It was like, it was a Pokemon. It was like a rip, I guess. I guess it's the same thing. And you paid basically like, it would randomize and send you and pick a character for you. And so then you got that character in the pool. So I did that a few times, and I spent like $50 real quick. I didn't even realize it adds up pretty quickly. I could see how people could get carried away with Whatnot. You know what I mean? How it could become a problem for people where they're just like bidding impulsively. So I got a couple good characters, but I don't think nobody really did very well. There's a couple decent pulls, but nobody really did super well. But it was long. It was like, it went through and did like 300 to 400 character selections. And then he had like, I don't know how many packs of cards. It was just like random sets, like a shit ton of cards. And he just ripped all through them. So that was at least fun. But then like the problem with that is then you get sucked into like watching it, and it's just a time suck. So it's like, I get that I have to use the app to, what's it called? Like, you got to kind of socialize on there to get people to follow you and, kind of connect with people. And, but yeah, it can be a time suck if you don't watch out. There was that one day that this guy was giving away a Switch 2. I think I talked about this. And he was an Asian guy. He kept going, hello, chat. Hello. And he was selling fucking... he was giving away a Switch 2 at the end of his stream, and it was like a Sunday. We weren't doing shit. And I just had it on all day and just like watched damn near the whole thing just trying to win a Switch 2. And of course I didn't win. didn't even have a chance. It was like a buyer's giveaway, so I had to buy something. So I think I bought a game. It was like the beginning of the stream when I saw it, and I bought a game for like $4. So I got entered to the giveaway for $4 anyway. But then I just spent the whole day watching this dude go, hello, chat, hello. Oh, man. But he was making some money, man. He was fucking selling video games, obviously. That's the thing. It's hard to get like a good surplus of video games. He was doing it. He was buying video games from his own viewers. So he was like having people sell him video games and then selling them back on whatnot. But yeah, I have my video game collection I could sell, but that's probably not happening anytime soon. I love that thing. Plus my kids like to play it sometimes. On like rainy days, it's good. My daughter's almost to the age where she's getting better at it. She plays the Bluey video game, and then my wife plays Animal Crossing. So she's been playing Animal Crossing with my wife, and she likes that one. So, and I've been playing Helldivers 2. Oh, man. Helldivers 2 is fucking... It's a fun game. I've thought about, like, streaming myself playing it. Because I bought, like, years ago, I bought the piece of equipment you need to stream. And it's expensive as fuck. It's like $100 for this little fucking USB looking thing. But I've thought about it because I'm actually not bad. And I say that I'm on level 6, but like, you know, once I get to the next level, usually I don't die a ton. Like I kind of play until I'm not dying consistently. Then I go up to the next one. So I think I'm going to do level 7 today. And that's 7 out of 10. But it gets fucking crazy, man. Like, things just drop on your head out of nowhere. You gotta fucking... Like, if you're with a good group, it's a lot easier to play the game. But if you're with a shitty group that just, like, takes off in 4 different directions, it can be tough. You gotta kind of, like, you know, if you're decent enough. Like, I'm decent enough to be like, all right, I'm just gonna start hitting objectives and start heading towards one person. And then once you kind of clear a path, you can kind of keep going around and... But yeah, it's crazy. It's a lot of fun. You got to be, situational awareness is like name of the game. You got to know, you got to have your head on a swivel on that game. I would just be running and just all of a sudden blow up. I'm like, where the fuck did that come from? So they come from everywhere, especially right now. But it's a lot of fun. I suggest if you are looking for a cheap game and you're decent at like shooter/strategy, then it's a good game if you haven't played it. It's an older, not older, but like from like last year or the year before, but it's still active. Like right now they just started like their big war on Cyberstan, which is like where the robots are from and shit. So like that's where we're at right now. So the story's always changing and shit, and like it's fun. It's a lot of fun. I recommend it. I want to go back to my Henry on Kingdom Come. I beat that game a while back, like a month ago. And I was like, oh, I'm going to go back and do some of the side quests I missed and, you know, finish exploring. Because I wanted to play as a serial killer for a little bit. You know what I mean? Just kind of terrorize a little town in there. Now that I completed the game, just sneak around and fucking murder a whole town. Leave like 2 people to be like, what the fuck happened? And then just stroll into town the next day to be like, hey, guys. But yeah, I just haven't been able to put the other one down. It's too addicting. Not even addicting. It's just, I'm like, I enjoy getting better at it. It's fun. And again, it's good for your brain and shit. If you're getting older, you know, I feel like my reflexes are really good. It helps with the game. It's a lot of fun. So that's all I'll talk about video games for now. I'm going longer than I thought I would. Honestly, I thought it'd be like 30 minutes. I did that. Oh, I did a raid train last week. So we got, I think it was like Thursday. Or maybe it was Wednesday later in the day. I can't remember. It was like a 24-hour period, I think. Yeah, it might have been Thursday. No, maybe Wednesday night. Somebody had posted in a Discord that they needed some spots filled for a raid train on Friday. And we were available. My wife was off, so I was like, all right, fuck yeah, like, let's do it. So we booked it, and it was My Bloody Valentine was the theme. So you had to do like horror/Valentine's Day kind of thing. And you had 30 minutes. So 30 minutes, I prefer the shorter slots on the raid train because you can kind of get in, boom, 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 like this is what I'm about. This was 30 minutes. So I went in like 5 minutes early. Oh, my wife was not off. I'm sorry. I apologize. My wife was working. Or no, she wasn't working. She went to do like a girls' night thing. We booked the raid train, and then she got asked to go out to girls' night with our neighbor. So I was like, all right, yeah, you go do that. Like I can handle the kids in this. So I just had the kids upstairs on the TV, and I was down here. And I told my oldest, like, if you guys need anything, come down and get me. And so they were fine. They were chilling. And I came down, did the 30 minutes. I had to like curate a whole show in like 24 hours or so. So I did it. I found like some Valentine's shit, and I found some good like horror, gross out shit. And so I was on the raid train for the first 2 shows. Neither seller sold anything. They were like awkward. Some people really shouldn't do whatnot. Like, I'm not trying to disparage anybody, but like there's going to be, there's going to be people that are still just doing it and complaining that they're not making any money doing it. And then the people who get better are going to like, will stand out, I think. So I think that's kind of where we're at. Not to toot my own horn, but like, I just think we're better at it than a lot of people, just naturally. So that sounds really, really like, but it's true. You know what I mean? You got to kind of see it for what it is. And we have shows where like, my energy's not necessarily there, and they kind of like, slack. And that's stuff we're working on. We're kind of tweaking times and all that stuff. But yeah, there's just, so anyway, they were supposed to raid into me. So they raid into me, and then I raid into the next person, and so on and so forth. So you can kind of build a following. And they were late raiding into me by like a couple minutes, which is fine. So as soon as they came in, I ran a giveaway, told people a little bit about myself, our business, this, that, and the other, and then, ran my show. And then at the end of the show, we were supposed to raid into somebody else. And so like, I want to be right on time. So I start, finishing up like 2 minutes till, because then I can be like, say my spiel about, stay on the raid train, follow me, this, that, and the other, thank yous, all that stuff. And then I can raid into the next person. So I did all that stuff, and I went to go raid, and she wasn't there. So I'm like, and the person who's running it is in the show. So I just ask on the camera, I'm like, hey, do I have their name right? I don't see them. And they're like, oh, they probably aren't on yet. So I had to wait like 3 minutes for her to finally come on, raided into her. And, it was fine. I just kind of, but like most people would panic, and like, I just kind of kept it moving, talked about like what we had coming up, thanked everybody again. And, got some followers. And I noticed on there, like, when you look at other people, they've got like 8,000 followers, and they're following like, 9 to 10,000 people or something. So it's like, well, you have a shitload of followers, but it's like, how many of those are just following you? So you've followed them back, and how many of them are going to actually buy from you? So that's kind of like, we've got over 1,000 followers and like under 100 followers, people that we're following. So we're like, I think we're doing it organically, which is nice. That's what you want to see. It's kind of what I do on Instagram, but Instagram does not grow as fast as I want to. But like I said, we got the camera coming today. So I think once that camera comes and I could start consistently putting up videos, I should see a change in that. So I'm excited for that. Fuck, there goes that stupid thing. We got to have a plumber come here. My father-in-law and my buddy Jacob are both like super handy, so I'm hoping that they can fix it while they're here, so I don't have to call somebody. I'm not a handy guy. I fix shit around the house, simple shit. Like I just hung up some hammocks for my kids, stuffed animals, and they, I just had to drill some shit in, and like, I can do that, and they'll still probably fall down. And I do other shit. I apologize if that's loud. It should stop in a second. If it doesn't, I'll have to run upstairs real quick. Yeah, there it goes. But no, I do like, I do other stuff like, certain handy shit. But there's certain shit that I just don't get to. And my wife will do it too. You know what I mean? Like we're team. So we both handle that shit. But there's certain things that I'm just like, I don't want to fuck with the water. I don't fuck with the gas. I don't fuck with electricity. So, I'll have one of them look at it and be like, if they can fix it. My buddy told me how to fix it, but he's a plumber. I'm like, I'm not doing all that shit, And we needed a whole new bathroom. So I'm worried that when we get to that point, they're going to be like, yeah, you just have to get rid of this whole vanity, which I want to do. But we want to do the whole bathroom at the same time because I don't want to have to buy a vanity and then redo the bathroom and get a fucking matching. I'm sorry, this is just all shit I'm thinking about. This is what I have to talk about at this time of year. It's not always pretty. But we're getting there. We're at like 49 minutes, which is crazy. I thought it would be a 30-minute podcast. I thought my family would be back. I thought it would take me longer with the people next door. This fucking thing. God damn. Well, anyway, I'll just probably finish up on that. I'll finish up on this. Because I did an update on Bad Bunny. So I'll do this while this thing's fucking being a bitch and I gotta finish up anyway. So there was a thing that happened where there was like two guys in the Bad Bunny show that were grinding, like if you looked quick. And it just reminded me of something that's fun that I do with my wife. It's not really malicious. Oh, there it goes. It stopped. It's not really malicious or anything like that, but it just is something that I thought of that's funny. So anytime like there's two guys on screen that kiss, I look at my wife when we're watching TV and I like aggressively slap my index fingers together like sword fighting. And then anytime there's like two ladies doing it, I aggressively scissor my fingers. And but lately there's been like, something where there's like a trans character and my wife always looks at me and I just kind of slap all of my fingers together. So that's just something fun I do. You can do it too. It's fun if you have a spouse at any time. It makes the homosexuality more tolerable. I'm just fucking around. It's just funny. It's just a funny thing I do. It's just silly. It makes my wife giggle. She thinks it's funny. Anyway, that's the podcast. It is a little bit shorter than usual, but longer than I anticipated. And I'm hoping my camera comes today. We have records tomorrow, so make sure you check out the show tomorrow night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. We'll have vinyl records, Pokemon cards coming up soon. I'm going to buy some things to ship comics soon so Dan can shut the fuck up. My friend Dan keeps bitching that we're not doing comics, so I'm trying to get a jump on those. And yeah, follow me on Instagram what the fuck is it? Perry Flips, at Perry Flips, Jesus Christ, with a Z. Flips and Giggles on Whatnot and eBay, and then also on Facebook. And yeah, keep an eye out for more about the new podcast because I'm going to keep working on it behind the scenes. And I'm hoping to get it probably launch in the summer because this podcast I just launched because I was like, I'm going to do it every week. The other one is I'm not backlogging episodes, or I am backlogging episodes. Because it's going to be a lot of coordination, and so I'm going to just have to I'm making a Calendly account today, and then I'm going to start sending out guest invites, and try to get some good guests, and then once I start getting some good guests, I can start like really announcing it and get some video submissions and get going, because I think it's going to be a good show. I really do. So yeah, just working on it, getting it going slowly but surely. Not slowly, I'm going to work on it pretty quickly. So I'm hoping to have an announcement soon. And just working out the final things. And I'm probably going to finish up this and go work on that actually. So anyway, that's the podcast. Thanks again, as always, for listening. And like and subscribe. And make sure that you hit the notifications so that you see when new episodes drop. Okay, that's it. That's all I got. Have a good one. Bye.